So I've had one time in my life where a complaint was put forward about my behavior with a woman. And before you go, oh my gosh, Gabriel, what are you doing? It was just a misunderstanding. I was teaching class. My girlfriend was in the class. I was doing lots of demonstrations with her. Right? I'd be like, okay, here we're gonna do round kick. And I'd teach the round kick. And I was, goofing around with her and having fun and just giving, I guess, more affection than you would with somebody you'd normally demonstrate with. And then after the class, my girlfriend and the other students, they went to the change room and my girlfriend came out and she was like, oh, one of the ladies in there said, man, that instructor is so flirty with you. Like, how do you feel about that? And she went, oh, it's okay, he's my boyfriend. That's the only time where something was relayed back to me where somebody went, ooh, that behavior was bordering on inappropriate. I've always been just who I am. Right? I don't really have to put in lots of extra effort on being appropriate, but it blew my mind. I was scrolling through Facebook the other day and I saw this article. I went, no, that can't be true. I mean, it's too close to home. I always think of Victoria as this little bubble where a lot of bad things just don't seem to happen. There's a lot happening in the world right now. A lot of drama, a lot of crazy stuff, and we just seem to have our nice little bubble here. It's probably not always like that, but anyway, I was scrolling through and I saw a gym in Victoria, one of the most prominent, the busiest ones, the longest ones within the community of having success, has been permanently closed following a cascade of sexual misconduct allegations. Now, my goal here on this channel is not to defamate people in the community. I've had times where people have reached out and said, look, this person did something really, 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 really bad, and we want you to get on there and just blacklist them. I'm like, yeah, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's more so to raise awareness. But many of you might not know that I'm a very opinionated person when it comes to so many things. Very opinionated. But the main thing that you have to be able to do, I think, as an opinionated person, to be reasonable, is have your opinion. Be willing to discuss your opinion. But not look at other people and go, oh, they don't share my beliefs, and completely write them off for it. I think that's the line between having an opinion and being open to other people's perception, which just to me makes it seem like, oh, this is a nicer world if we all did that, versus the opposite. So I don't want to go on and say this person is, call him out, call out his gym, and then find out down the road even that you never know. Maybe these sexual misconduct allegations were not even, they weren't as black and white as people are listing. But anyway, I want to talk about my experience teaching kids, little girls, for a long time, never having anybody say anything, and also have people out there who are going to gyms be aware that, yeah, there are some predators out there and what you should be on the lookout for, what these females are complaining about. A lot to talk about, a lot to take in. Let's start off and let's just go through some of the highlights of this post here. So what began as a single brave woman's Reddit post has snowballed into a full-scale police investigation that has effectively ended one of Victoria's most prominent martial arts establishments. The Victoria Police Department is now investigating formal complaints filed by multiple women who trained at the facility. The allegations first surfaced when former student identifying herself as Jane Doe to protect her identity shared a troubling experience on the social media platform. Had been at the gym for approximately 18 months, described a disturbing pattern of behavior that escalated over time. Said comments were made about my face. He made comments about my body, a lot of leering, specifically a lot of staring at my chest. Her account detailed inappropriate conversations about personal life, unwanted physical conduct, and showing explicit images of why would you do that? Allegedly showing explicit images on his phone during training sessions. Another time where the breaking point was during a gi class where she repeatedly said, no, I don't want to train with you. I don't want to roll with you. Spent apparently a minute and a half, 2 minutes saying no. And just like, I don't want to roll with you. I don't want to touch you. And just continued pressure until grabbing the lapel. And just now other people coming forward. So I've been teaching kids class. Now you might go, oh, kids class is not the same as an adult class. You don't have to worry about it as much, but let's be real. When you're teaching little boys and little girls, and I'm actually somebody who gets in and rolls with the kids, they love it. They think it's hilarious. I have things where they have to run past me. They have to get to the other side of the mats, and I'm there trying to block them, and I grab their wrist, and if they can't get out of the wrist lock, then I take them down to the ground, and then if they can't stop me with their knees up, I'll go to the mount before they bridge me off. And a lot of people might go, ooh, you're opening a can of worms there. Like, don't touch the kids, don't touch the kids. I understand nowadays it's less common and better practice to not put your hands on the kids because you might get a parent who complains. They're like, no, I don't like a full-grown man touching my child, wrestling with my child. I've been teaching since I was 14 years old. Over 25 years, I've never had one parent come up to me and say, I don't like the way you're doing things. And I think the difference is all about the tone, right? The way that you communicate. Is it fun or is it odd? When you touch kids, you grab their shoulders, you wrestle around with them, you keep everything proper, all right? Instructors need to be aware of this type of thing. Whether you're helping at the gym, whether you own the gym, whether you're just an assistant instructor, be aware of how your actions make other people feel, obviously. Now, let's jump in very quick to some of the other things here that people were saying, because other ladies coming on, and a lot of what I've been reading is females saying that they actually would leave and stop training and be scared to go to other gyms now because they wonder, is this common? Is this prevalent at all places? And that's sad when you take away martial arts from somebody. So comments such as asking the female, somebody else is saying here, he asked me about my sex life with my husband. That's odd. Repeatedly saying my tan from vacation made him feel like he was not able to control himself because it's so hot. Repeatedly pointing out and saying when they're alone in the gym how much he loved me. No, I really, really love you. Calling you gorgeous. And then asking personal details about his life or her life from a physiotherapist who they both shared. She goes on to say, now, are these transgressions criminal? No, but it's weird and it needs to be avoided because, like I said, everybody should be able to go to the gym, have a good time, feel like it's a safe space. That's the biggest thing. I say all the time to people that fighters, because they have a bad image, because a couple fighters in the world who are very high level put out a bad image. And then the general public thinks fighters are bad people. I go, no, fighters are very often great people who will help you, run across the street to assist you. If you're a stranger, they don't know you, they will be there. Outstanding humans. When we go to the gym, martial arts gym, it should be the same thing. I have 2 or 3 gyms I go to in town, and the instructors above and beyond. They go above and beyond to make the place professional, to make people feel welcome, to make kids, females, males, everybody's welcome. Everybody leaves happy. That's the way it has to be. Not singling out anybody based on this or that, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, right? A nice space. That's what we want when we go to a martial arts gym. It's not always like that because, let's be honest, right? There's always stuff that happens between students. I saw it back in the day when I was sparring, right? Some of the girls would be like extra mean to one of the other girls, or some of the guys would get really upset by what one of the other students were doing, spar harder with them. But these are dynamics that happen between peers. and should not be happening with the instructor. The instructor should be there with his eye on all that kind of stuff and trying to sort it out, not leading the problems. So be safe out there. I don't want to hear that anybody, male or female, is leaving the gym because they feel like it's not a safe space. That's sad. If that happens, I would not advise giving up martial arts completely. Don't lose faith in this great, great activity, which can give you confidence if you're at the right space, can make you so much happier in your life, can make you fit, somewhere you can have fun. Like the list just goes on and on. And everybody should be able to have access to that. So don't give up on the idea of finding a gym. Research around. Find the safe places. Find the instructors who make you feel confident that going there is a place that you will be happy and safe all the time. And that's just my 2 cents for today on this situation. Like I said, I was blown away to see that this happened, and I'm actually going to drive by the gym at some point this week and see if the doors are really shut, because I'm having trouble being like, there's such a big gym that they're going to maybe just for the moment it's shut down because like we need to let this blowout go by. Maybe it's actually being closed down by the police until they get more information. I don't know, but I'm going to find out more. Not going to update you guys. This is enough. This one video. But yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about today. And anyway, I hope in some way it was illuminating for you.